This is the option to show how you create levels and grids. It's kind of late in the game to be creating these when you've already got most of this laid out. You probably do that up front, not halfway through your project. Anyway, the point is that if we go to the north elevation, you can see that there are floors defined as level 1, level 2, and they're shown with views for floor plan and ceiling plan for level 1 and level 2. And these can be renamed anytime that you want. So what we want to do first of all is just rename the ground floor, the level 1, and call it first floor. You'll be asked if you want to rename the views that are in the browser. So that's the floor plan is 4 feet above the floor looking down. The ceiling plan is 7'6" above the floor looking up the way. You say yes. You want that to say first floor, first floor. This example is going to say second floor. And then we want to create additional levels that correspond to the floors. And he's got a third, fourth, and a roof. And the way he shows it is from the level command. In any of the elevation views, doesn't matter, but make sure you've got that button, make a plan view, checked on, because that's what's creating the views up here. Make sure that here you've got just architecture, not structural, or you'll get a structural floor plan, not MEP, or you'll get a MEP floor plan. So just ceiling and floor plans. And now what he's doing is kind of coming up from the end here, so he tabs over the end, points up. You could type in the 10 feet to get the first point, and then your second is lined up over here to make sure that they come all the way through the building, and click and get level 3. And he does that again twice to get the 2 other levels. Better way would be create similar pick lines, offset by 10 feet, and then select the coming down the way so that your next floor is going to go up the way. If you do that, you might create a level on top of another level. Don't know if you can see it, but it kind of previews. Let me zoom in a bit. It's going down the way, so you want to come from the top down, go up, and go up. And he wants to then rename those as third floor, and fourth. So I just need a fourth floor and then a roof. And what it does is it sorts them alphanumerically in the browser. So now he's got this mishmash of first floor, fourth floor, second floor, third floor. I'll elaborate on that later. What we're going to do is go to the floor plan, and we want to put in some grids. Grids used to locate structural columns, but also can be used to locate the walls, so that you can actually make relationships between them by aligning them and locking them. But right now what we're going to do is under architecture is just create me a grid that starts somewhere up here, and I might have to adjust the number. I do, because I've been placing some just prior to this. So let me make sure that the first one would say that it is grid number 1. So Revit doesn't keep track of the ones that were placed and deleted, and you may have to go in and just change the number to 1, or A if you want a sequence of A, B, C, D. with one created, if you can repeat the process here. So what he's doing in the exercise is kind of finding the middle of the wall and then moving the cursor up until you see these alignment lines to give the beginning, and then coming down and lining it up. So you've got 1, 2, then coming over here, 3, 4. You could, I'm just going to line it up. I'm just going to do this so you can see it. So if I put like 4 down there, you could say align to the middle of that wall, that grid, to speed things up a bit. And then he's going to go along and do 5 and 6. So for example here, I'm just going to go from, instead of doing all that pointing and clicking, I'm just going to go, there's 5, there's 6. I'm going to say align to the middle of that wall, that grid. I'm not going to lock it, I'm just moving it. Align to the middle of that wall, that grid. And escape to get out. So just putting them in place. Those now run all the way through the project. So if I go to the 4th floor, I can see my grid lines running through here. If I go to an elevation view, I can see my grid lines running all the way up, and I can see my levels.